What's up guys, welcome back. Today we are pulling the transmission on the M240. If you guys aren't familiar, this is the engine bay on my M240. So we are dock race, top mount, hood exit, intake manifold, port injection, and a whole bunch of other parts in here. But the transmission is completely stock. Now being that I'm pushing 37, 38 pounds of boost through the 6870 Next Gen, we're getting very, very close and kind of playing with fire with this transmission, being that it's stock, which can lead to the clutches slipping or worst case scenario, catastrophic failure by breaking the C or E hubs, which are cast. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how to pull the transmission on an X-Drive B58 car. This applies for Gen 1, Gen 2, HP45, HP50, HP51, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna show you guys both. And this can be useful. So you can save yourself a bunch of money. It's really not that hard. If you're looking to get your transmission built, you don't feel like doing the second part of this video, which would be actually building it yourself, you can at least pull it yourself and send it off to whichever company you choose to go with. I went with Applied Torque Solutions, but there are other companies that build them as well. But the same as most of you guys, I personally don't have a lift. And that makes it a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. So we have to run to the store really quick and get a few materials so we can get the car up high enough so we can get the transmission out once we do. And I'll show you guys how to get this puppy out. Well, this is what you have to resort to when you don't have a truck. Got 2x4x8s all the way sticking out the back. It made it all the way here from Home Depot. Just had 2 bungee straps. It worked perfectly fine though. All right, so all of our lumber, these are 2x4x8s. And I got a 5-pound box of screws, 2.5-inch construction screws. I got some gloves as well, but all this together was $109. So overall pretty affordable if you already have a Jack and Jack stands. So plan of attack here is we're cutting out a bunch of 18-inch pieces and then 16-inch pieces, and then we'll be going crisscross back and forth with them. We support 4-inch pieces in the middle. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a second. I gotta get more cut out. I've only done one so far, so I'll get the base going, and then you guys will kind of get the idea, and I'll show you guys the finished product. Okay, so obviously still very rough. I haven't even started screwing it together, but just give you guys an idea of what the hell I'm doing. This is pretty much it. So just stacking back and forth, and then I'll have the wheel actually sitting like this, and it'll be supported through all of these to kind of push it into the ground, you know? So I just have to, screw it all together. And this is just under 17 inches of lift, which will be plenty to get the transmission out at that point. Measuring in at just below 17 inches, 16.5 inches. So just gotta make 4 more of these and we'll be good to start. Alrighty, have my exhaust completely dropped. Obviously I don't have an exhaust on the setup anymore, but the exhaust is completely dropped, downpipes out. Just get it out of the way. You need to drop this center tray. Then there's the cross brace that goes along the exhaust. You need to drop that. And then next we'll be dropping this front heat shield that covers the drive shaft, as well as the rear cover that covers the drive shaft. So once we get both of these out, we'll have access to see everything underneath there. We'll be able to disconnect the drive shaft, and I'll show you guys how to deal with this transfer case and get this transmission out of here. All right, and with the under shields removed that cover this drive shaft, we need to remove these 3 18s, the silver ones. They don't have a backing nut on the other side of them. So we'll do this one, and there's one more right there. People say that you need to rotate the drive shaft in order to get these off. I did it with 2 extensions, one of them being a wobbly extension, this one, with an 18 on the end of it, and it worked perfectly fine. I did not need to rotate the drive shaft, but if you do need to, if you don't have the correct tools for whatever reason, there is a neutral safety lever. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a hole in that lever right there in between the front drive shaft and the transmission. And if you pull down on that, then you can rotate this drive shaft by hand. I have the rear obviously blocked up, so wouldn't be able to do that, but was able to get all 3 of those no problem. And then you have 3 E14s on the back here. So it's gonna be that one, that one, that one. Again, no nuts on the back side of those ones. It'll just drop down after that. There might be some pressure on it. And then you have these 13s holding the center point right here. And if you'll notice, it gets kind of, you know, relatively large right here, steps down and then steps down again. This is where people actually break these stock drive shafts. That's why people go for a single 1-piece drive shaft. This is actually a 2-piece. As you can see, it's right connected right there. And got the drive shaft out. Pretty simple. Like I said, just remove all those bolts, wait to do the center ones until all the other bolts are out, and then you'll be able to do it super easy. I removed the rear first, so I just moved the whole thing forward, dropped down the rear, and then I pulled out the front. It's not that heavy really. So next we need to work on unbolting the front drive shaft. So there's, I believe, 4 E12s, and then that'll come down. This should be able to rotate as well without the neutral safety switch, but again, I have the front wheels on block, so I'm not sure if that's even possible. And I got one of these bolts out. This one back here I wasn't able to get to, so I had to jack up the front end to get it off these blocks, and now I can just freely twist this front drive shaft into a position that I can access this last bolt now up there. And then these are already loose, so I'll drop both of these out. I don't know if there's a way to get it out on this side. I don't think so. On the older generations that had bolts here as well, that you could just take out this whole shaft. I'm not gonna mess with this though, so I'll just have this out and then I'll zip tie it somehow to the transmission. Just so it doesn't drop, I'll probably use this little bolt hole right here. Run a zip tie so this stays up and is not like flopping down, you know? But yeah, need to get these ones out now and go from there. I'll drop down the front end again so it's stable. And still on the driver's side of the car, loosen up this transmission line bracket. Uses a, I believe, E10. Let me double check. Yep, E10. If you look up here, you can see the E10 bolt there. So loosen that up, and then we'll be getting right here off the side of the transmission is where the lines go into it, and I believe that's a 10mm. So in a second we'll pull that off after we drain the transmission. Just kind of preparing to drain the transmission and then get it pulled. And another thing we can do to prep to drop it is going to be pulling off this starter positive, and then on the back side here, let me turn the flash on. On the back side here, we'll want to disconnect this right here, and this grounding shaft, the 13, you want to pull that off. And then this is the positive wire that comes with the starter. Disconnect it, get it out of all these clips right here. Goes all the way up to the top. So get all those loose and out of there. And then obviously there's some connectors, I believe in here, you can see it. This connector right here though. So once we drop it a little bit, we'll disconnect that one. But yeah, disconnect all of the electrical wires. There's a starter right here. Again, the one on the back here that's connected to the transfer case, this grounding strap, and then we'll drop it a little bit and we'll disconnect that last one. And now we can unplug the transfer case. Just pinch and pull. That was kind of violent. Confirm that this one's a 10mm right here. And then there's another 10mm you have to get right there. This one right there. And then the other one's right here. Put my hand on it, you can't really see it on camera. Gonna drain the transmission fluid really quick, and then we'll pop that line off. We'll move it off to the side. We're gonna support the transfer case and drop this bracket. There's an 18mm on this side, and on this side there's a 16, so we'll drop this bracket. There's some E-Torques in here. Those look like E10s or 12s. And then on this side as well, drop all those. This bracket will come off, and then we'll drop the transfer case down, and we'll start to take out the bell housing bolts. Show you guys how to get to the top ones here in a sec. Gotta use a 10mm Allen for this. And this probably will splash everywhere because the pan's so far down. let that drain for a second until the flow gets much less. Color's not bad on it though. It was red transmission fluid that I put in here, the Adrenaline SS before. That was, I want to say like 10,000 miles ago. So honestly, I wasn't expecting it to look bad, but nonetheless, doesn't look burnt or anything. Gonna let this drain for a second, we'll come right back. So then disconnect these two lines from the side of the transmission. Pull out like that. There will be some that drips. Oh, maybe a lot that drips. Got this idea from Cayman or Shay on YouTube. Go follow him if you haven't already. He did a video on this as well for rear-wheel drive guys. We're gonna put a bag over that and then zip tie it. So let me do that really quick. So then on the transfer case, just need to get it up just a little bit. Just take some tension off that bolt, and then we'll drop this frame right here. I'm gonna get the transmission jack positioned underneath here, although I won't be able to do anything with it until this bracket's off and this is out of the way, but just in preparation. And with this nut out of here, nut on this side, bolt on this side, we can drop this support bracket right here. And from this brace, this is what it'll look like underneath the car. There's 3 different size bolts here. The short ones go on this end and these 2 ends. All the longer ones go through the actual part, so they're a little bit longer, but the short one is that one and these 2. And we're gonna lower this jack. We're gonna lower this jack right here. We're gonna support the transmission while we take out the bell housing bolts now. And then in order to stay organized here, I drew out a very crude diagram of the transmission bell housing, just to give you guys an idea. We're gonna need to keep track of these bolts. They're different sizes, they're different lengths. So I counted 9, unless I'm missing one, I'm pretty sure it's only 9. So obviously these 2 are at the top. These ones are kind of blind. You can kind of see this one, you can kind of see that one. I'm not sure how we're gonna get them out yet. I think it's gonna be a very long extension. You got these 2 on the side that hold that bracket for the downpipe, the stock downpipe on. This one at the bottom, and then there's a few up the side on the driver's side. So this is if you're looking at it from the back of the car. Obviously top right there, and we'll be keeping track of the bolts. We'll be putting them through the cardboard so we remember where they go. Make sure that we're not misplacing any bolts and the different sizes and stuff. And all of the bolts are out. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I double counted this one or what. I counted 9 originally, but I only have 8. So either there's still a bolt in here that I'm like completely overlooking that I saw earlier, or this is the correct amount of bolts. Still need to remove this bracket right here. So just gonna remove all these E10s. And then I believe the transmission's good to drop. Besides that plug right here, I can't fit my hand in there to grab it right now, but just need to drop these and then slowly lower it down and back, and then remove that plug before it drops all the way down. Having some issues getting this disconnected. I think that the converter does need to come out with the trans. I've seen people do it without. I don't know how, but in order to remove the converter, we need to remove the starter. There's 2 E10s right there, and then there's one more right there at the tip of my finger. So all 3 of those need to come out, and then the starter will come out. And then obviously need to remove this electrical connection right here. And the starter is off, revealing the flywheel. I was wrong, it wasn't this bolt. There's actually a little sleeve, it's like a little rubber sleeve. You have to go through that, and then the bolt that you're looking for is actually in there. It's a longer bolt. But yeah, these 2 and that one, and then this connector right here. You'll get the starter off. And then we'll need to rotate this flywheel to access all of the torque converter bolts. So you can see one right there. We'll rotate this clockwise and slowly take out all the torque converter bolts. And then the whole transmission should come out much, much easier. So if you guys are curious on how I'm rotating this, just taking a pry bar and manually rotating the flywheel. Alrighty, and with all 6 torque converter bolts out, I think the trans is finally ready to drop. Okay, I was able to get it separated. and it started dumping more fluid, so I need to clean that up really quick. Got it past the torque converter now. I was under the impression that the torque converters were gonna come out with the transmission. I think that's what I was fighting all this time. Well, after I got the bolt out, but it was fighting to come out, you know, straight. But now it's past the torque converter from what I can tell. Just need to actually lower it now. So hopefully we can get that captured for you guys. Okay, now the only question is, how am I going to get this thing out from underneath the car? That is a very good question. So I didn't film this part. I was actually on the phone with one of my buddies on FaceTime, but I slid it from the trans jacks onto some moving blankets carefully. Didn't damage it at all. We're all good to go there. This is where this video is going to end. Next video, I'll actually be installing the ATS Stage 2 and Circle D torque converter into this, and then we'll reconnect our Bluetooth exhaust. And then after that, we'll go do some break-in miles and turn this baby up. So excited to be able to do digs again. This is gonna help quite a bit. Cannot wait to do digs. Thank you again to Brian at Applied Torque Solutions. Been a huge help already. It's helping me answer some questions about getting this thing out and some proper procedures once I have these parts in. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.